All right. Welcome. Welcome. Metadipity is in the house. How are you doing?
Hello, hello. Awesome. Thank you so
I don't
much. This is
I don't know if that
super
sounded
cool.
terrible. It's like the worst quality audio, and I just assumed it would probably just sound awful coming through the speakers and everything. But could you hear any of that, or did it just sound like white noise?
I did hear a little bit of the rhythm, but not really well. How do you do it? Are you on the phone now or the
I'm
laptop?
on the phone and I'm just I'm just putting it close to the iPad, just playing the playing the music on there. But
Oh,
it's a really bad quality recording. That was an ancient recording from
all right.
2009, recorded with a iPhone 3G or yeah, probably a 3GS or something way back in the day. But how are you doing? I'm so excited to get to talk to you, get to know you. We're gonna chat a little bit about. Let's set the stage for everyone who might listen back to this and everything, or anyone who rolls in here,
Yeah,
and for
absolutely.
ourselves too. So we got a good map of what we want to do today. Um,
Yes, absolutely. Framework. Go for it.
yeah, let's do it together. So you are also a B card holder, and so we want to talk about B card. Okay, that's number one. And
Absolutely.
hopefully
Yep.
we can swap B cards. I think I have like one left. I need to re-up, and I haven't. Maybe you can even help me
Okay.
figure out. Like I've re-upped once, but I've forgotten. So I don't know if there's a link that we can help me find or something. That'd be good. I need to get back on that, but I think I can at least send you the one here, so it's not like we got to do the one before the other.
Yes, I only have 8 left myself, so I was actually gonna go look for a thread somewhere. I know Jade wrote
Yes.
Jade
Yeah.
Rose.
I don't know if I
She has
bookmarked it.
epic threads.
We'll go and scour her page until we find what we're looking for.
Yes. Let's
That's
sounds
perfect. I shared this in the B card onboarding group. I shared it in the ENS discussions group, and so yeah,
okay,
those
cool.
people can roll in here if they want. I don't know about this time or whatever how it works for people in general, but for you, it sounds like you may be a little bit. It may be a little bit later where you are.
Yes, exactly. I'm in Switzerland, so for me it's like 9:15 now. And so yeah, with you, you're Pacific, right? So
Just noon
it's
for me.
12 p.m.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, you're getting ready to wind down. You've probably been had a long day, getting
Exactly.
ready for tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah. That's it. That's it. And how did you start into today?
Oh gosh, I had a big old interview today for Web3 domains, doing an article about me, I guess, just like a spotlight article. And so I just kind of like
Oh,
I ramble, man. I rant and ramble. It's like one of my giftings and one of my curses simultaneously. Uh, and so in this interview, I'm just kind of realizing how much I need to really polish up my own personal interview skills, both on interviewing and being interviewed. It's one thing to be able to just run your mouth, but it's another to actually, have some intention with what you're doing. And so I'm just realizing that I just kind of am in need of more organizational strategy, as I go about this. So I'm hoping, that people who are courageous and desiring to help, in general, and help me figure out, how to do a little bit better. So I guess we could prepare questions in advance and stuff, but I just kind of want to tell you about BTalks really quick. Um,
yep.
because that's what this is, kind of like one of the first ones. And so the idea is like B card. Okay, there's only a few hundred people. Okay, so what's the big deal, right? What's
Mm-hmm.
the big deal? So it's B card. Okay, whatever. It's a big deal. Okay, and if it, it's a big deal if you're there. Um,
Yep.
if you're not there, you might not see it for a while. It might take a couple years. At the rate of growth, it might take a year before people really start going, huh, in the community, and then maybe outside. It might take a few years. It's definitely going to, but if things go well with B card, which it looks like they will, there's all the supports there and everything. Um, this is the entrance. This is the entrance to the metaverse for real, where the
Mm-hmm.
social aspect of your Web3 identity, where your Web3 identity goes immersive, and where because of BTalks, B cards is about exchanging business cards. For anyone who doesn't know, it's about a social layer on Polygon, hooked up to our ENS and stuff, where we're just saying, we're swapping business cards. You swap cards, your friends. It's a relationship. It represents kind of an exchange of, in some extent, it's a little bit more. I see it as a little bit more than just like swapping business cards with somebody on the street. It's kind of like, you're it's like your Rolodex. You're like a person in, my community of B card holders who, we have had a conversation, we've connected. We're not just like a digit in my wallet, in other words. That's what I want it to be for me. Do you feel the same way about you don't want just like go out, collect a bunch of B cards, and then kind of you look at your wallet, you're like, who are these people?
Yes, I try and combine, connect, and swap. So it's nice to have, even if it's just a short back and forth, but it's nice to have a some sort of exchange, because then when I look at the card, I can remember a certain conversation or a certain question or a certain situation, you know. Like yesterday I bumped into somebody in the on cyber in the metaverse, and that's an opportunity to be like, hey, let's exchange. This is the first time I bump into you, you know, that kind of thing.
Oh wow,
So
neat.
I do think it's special. Yes, I like it when there's some value and I guess memory attached to it.
I mean, that's a seriously interesting one, though. I mean, see, it's unfortunate for me at this moment that on cyber it's kind of fails on mobile. Like you can use it, but it's very resource intensive, right? And so it just it breaks. So hopefully on cyber, like will there will be some tools that will make it really much more mobile. And but like I'm jealous because I have a hard time working with at for an extended period of time on a desktop because of my I've got like a kind of like I guess it's like an autoimmune kind of a situation. My back is not really good at staying vertical, so it's hard for me to get in that position for a desktop. So mobile is really good for me, but like it's frustrating because I really want, partially because of my disability, I want to go in the metaverse faster, right? I was always, that I was always kind of against metaverse, not against it, but just like not interested in it. I was more interested in going on a hike. But now because it's a limitation for me, and that limitation has kind of limited some of my social interaction at IRL. I'm like, dude, I would love to actually go mob around the metaverse and actually what you're describing, that you've bumped into somebody like, oh, hell, there you are, like, and you're bumped into their little like circular like icon or whatever. But in the process though, you have audio visual there, so you kind of like, you're like, oh hey, like who are you? And so you hear their voice. It's the most interesting thing. You won't see them, but you'll hear their voice, just like we are now in a space or whatever. But there's this added component of you're moving around this three-dimensional space together. So in the context of your meeting, you can also have an actual like experience of observing the same thing together. You can be like, oh, come over here to my metaverse curation gallery. Like, can I show you around my gallery or whatever? Did you guys have any of that? Did you go like, oh, let's go look at something together? How did the metaverse meeting go? It's very interesting to me.
Yes, absolutely. Um, let me see. It was 3869. Is that his number? Oh, I don't want to get it wrong because he's the one
It's
who
the
gave me the
problem with the
tour.
numbers. I'm telling you, I
I
love the
know.
numbers, though. I really do.
I always get that. Oh, I always get the numbers mixed up. But anyway, he's the one who really helped me, you know, get this whole thing sorted and onboarded and everything. And so we, because you know they have the daily meetings, right? From okay, my time it's 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. Like during that 2 hour period, the B card holders they'll meet up. So it's been quiet because they've been working on the B paper, but even 008 what popped in yesterday. And anyway, so
And that's
um
11 p.m. Swiss time, which I think we have
that's
discovered that I am nine
minus
or
9, right? So that's
yeah,
what.
2. So it's 2 p.m. for me.
Okay, so 2 to 4 p.m. they meet up. So I'm okay, yes, I'm just double checking. 3869, exactly. He gave me an awesome tour, and he showed me like a lot of his rooms. And because you meet up in the uh, GM coffee station, and then you have most of the portals connected there. And he gave me an awesome tour, and also into 008's gallery, which is just, I mean, it's just mind blowing. And the amount of art that, you know, is hanging and the way it's curated, it's just, I mean, it's just next level. It's really, really awesome. And
I'm so stoked to see these. I bought a metaverse land. I bought the
you
Infinite Museum.
did. You did. Okay.
Is that cool? I mean, I it was only 0.05 or something. I was like, shoot, I'm gonna get one because they had a limited supply. And look, I have a huge collection. I mean, it may not be the most valuable, but it's big. And so I was like, I want a lot of space to hang. So I got the one. I think I was like over 120 frames or something, and I was like, this will work. And then Jade Rose was telling me that there's some ability to hang. Like I have these have these panoramics. I'm gonna mint these panoramas as polygon assets, and I'm gonna hang them like these really long and they're of graffiti. So I'm gonna bring in this big old panoramic graffiti art that I commissioned in early 2021. It was installed in Denmark, not too far from you. It was installed in Denmark by Pure Love Crew at Pure Love Crew on Twitter. His homies are so talented, and they go through a brick of. I mean, do you imagine how much spray paint it took to cover that whole? I mean, it's like $500 worth of rattle cans. Anyway, so now I want to take that and I want to put it on the long wall of this infinite museum and have one of the walls in this metaverse space be this IRL, this huge IRL graffiti. So like I can't wait to bring you into my space once I get it all dialed. I got a few things hung, but it's gonna be rad.
Absolutely. That sounds super awesome. You have the space, you have the art. That is epic. That's super cool. And it really does take a little bit of time, hey? So I understand because you did mention your back and your situation. Are you able to do you need to be lying on your tummy or can you be lying,
Yeah, it's pretty
sitting?
much that. So I could put my
Okay.
laptop here, but I have this boom arm. Last year it wasn't as bad. So I could just lean against
Okay.
the couch and I had this boom arm that I bolted to my coffee table so that
Mm-hmm.
my it's like a boom arm that holds my laptop so I can just sit and like not, just put it in any position. It's really comfortable. But now that doesn't work for me as good. So I've been just kind of on the belly. But I think I might get
Mm-hmm.
something that will hold my, just a little caddy so that the laptop doesn't get hot, and I might be able to just lay here on my obviously be really easy for me. So I probably just need to update my setup. I could probably it's just like it's about the interface then, right? Because I'm sitting here on my belly, like I could type some, right? But then I gotta like I don't like mousing with a trackpad. I mouse with a mouse ball because partially because of my disability, my hands and fingers. Like I basically have rheumatoid arthritis. Just imagine that I have
Oh,
rheumatoid
okay.
arthritis.
Okay.
So like
Yeah.
I use a trackball because I want precision, but I don't have great fine motor skills because of this. So, but so that's why like I'm a hella gifted video editor, and but it fucking sucks because excuse my language. Unfortunately I can't do that level of like point and click anymore. But I know the software well, so I can tell other people, like my vision and stuff. And so I've kind of transitioned in this period of my life from having to do less, or it's earlier. Most people when they reach the mastery phase of their life, it's because they're a certain age, they've achieved some things. I think that disability has kind of pushed me into like a false mastery state early where um I have to basically like try to collaborate with other people. Instead of being like a mentor, I have to be like an insufficient collab partner. And so I realized that just having humility in my art collaborations was like the best path for me to create beautiful things because where I was limited, we just find really good compatibility. So anyway, my art that I've been doing over the last few years, or the last year or 2 years, is all collaborative. It's like I did some of the music and then I did some of the motion graphics and my friend painted it and then or whatever. And for me that's more satisfying. I love to like get paid on my own. I'd love to like be recognized on my own. Sure, who doesn't want that sounds great. But like I'm not I don't see myself as being talented enough in my own right or whatever to do that. Everything I've tried, I'm personally disappointed with my own art, so it's just like, nah. The only things I am somewhat satisfied about, and even then I'm most critical of my involvement in them are all my collaborations, right? So so that's just a way for me to feel like a little bit less insecure about my art and to feel like I am actually contributing something because somebody else could paint really good and make a beautiful static image, but hey, I can add the audio and the motion graphics to it and really bring it to life and actually contribute, make it something, that it wouldn't have been otherwise. Reach more of the senses, reach more sensory experience. So that's kind of what I'm about when it comes to that kind of thing. I don't know why I went off on that whole tangent right now, but anyway, sorry.
Yeah, thanks so much for sharing. It's really interesting though to get an idea of, where you're at. And what I'm hearing though is a lot of you're adapting, on a daily basis almost or whatever, to your situation and crafting around that, which I think that is, I mean, that's something to give yourself credit for. I think
Thank you
that's
for hearing that way is really actually is really sincerely helpful for me because it's absolutely true. It's a good thing to kind of contextualize for people when they meet me. I sometimes receive a lot of criticism and stuff, and it's just like, dude, I'm doing what I can. I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and so, I like talking. It's something that I can do, and if I have a chance to meet somebody like yourself and learn from you, then it's like to me, it's just a horrible waste, just not to take the opportunity. Like so many people in this B card community are thinking about the things that really matter. They're thinking about persistence of your communication, censorship resistance. Think about freedom of expression. I want to make art and I don't want some oppressive government stopping me, or I want to make a documentary film. I don't want it banned from YouTube again, like that's what it is. And so these are the people who think that way. This selection bias for this community is those type of people. So when we just kind of casually go like, oh, here's a business card, to me, it's a missed opportunity and I want to go deeper. So I want BTalks and I registered BTalks.eth. I got BTalks.eth.
Oh, you did. That
Yeah,
is
because I
awesome.
want to do this. I think it's fun. Like this is our
Yeah.
kind of first BTalk. You're our first BTalk interview.
Yay. I love this idea, really, Novax. I really do. It's really, really cool. And I feel like it complements, the heartbeat of what B card is all about.
Thank you. So I would love to know more. I was talking about myself so much, so I'm trying to be and help me with this. Help me focus on you because I really I know me. I don't know you, and I would love to know about Switzerland, how your journey into the space, like where you're going with it all, and we can kind of keep it quick because I've already eaten up 30 minutes of our time. So if you need to go at any time, I don't want you to feel like you are a hostage here or something. Is this however it is, very casual, like we're bumping into each other in the metaverse, sort of, and a little coffee time. But what's your story? Metadipity. Maybe you just tell me about your name. It's a very cool name. It's kind of like serendipity.
Yes. Oh, wow. Not a lot of people make that connection. Exactly. I love the word meta and serendipity. And so I just combined the two because serendipity is taken. I think it's registered until, I don't know, freaking 28 or 38, I think, 2038. So metadipity it is. I like the name, the combination of the two. Well, let's see. I'm sort of a cross-cultural kid. So I spent half my life in Southern Africa. So I've been back here in Switzerland for the past 7 years now. I was born in Namibia, and then we moved back to Switzerland for 10 years, and then we moved back down to Botswana. So I spent 15 years of my life in Botswana. I was married there. My parents are still there, my sister. And after a divorce, I decided to come to Switzerland with my two kids. So I'm a mom of two teens. So there's never a boring minute in this household.
Oh man, yeah, I've got an almost 9-year-old now, so I'm shortly behind you with the teenagers. I'm already fearing that actually.
Oh yeah, no, it's a completely different ball game, I'm telling you. But
Just the
yes, so
food consumption alone, I'm sure.
oh yes, no, the bills, the grocery bills have like doubled. That is not even a joke. So so yes, I guess sort of that's I guess my background in terms of, where I've been and sort of my influences. My mom's Swiss, my dad's South African.
What did you do
Essentially,
professionally during all of this time? If were you working? Were you working on any kind of side projects, art projects, or anything like that, in addition to your just kind of like whatever income kind of thing?
yeah, yeah. Well, professionally, what I do, or yeah, I guess I sort of did a whole 180 when we came to Switzerland. I just sort of wanted to start afresh, I guess. So I jumped into personal coaching, health coaching, therapy. So I studied, it's called systemic constellations, which is a type of method or therapy. So that is sort of my passion, and I just love working with people. Now, translating that into the whole Web3 space is an interesting one because I'm trying to figure out. I'd love to get a build a community as time goes on. I still feel I'm very fresh and new to the space. So for now, I'm here to learn and meet people. But down the road, I'd love to figure out how I can, hold a space or create a space where we can come together. And instead of having a therapy client kind of relationship or situation, it's more of a together um, space where we can dive into different topics. And funny enough, a friend of mine yesterday suggested or sort of just dropped the idea of, hey, maybe the metaverse would be something, where you can meet up. So yeah, I mean, there's so much input and different ideas coming from everybody that I'm excited of what's to come. But something that I really, I think, appreciate the most for now is just, sticking around, and because right now I'm quite involved with the ENS Queens, and I mean, I'm learning daily about this space. I'm still very new to it. I'm just, and with, no tech background or any sort of Web3, crypto, anything. Um, it's just a whole new world to me, and I'm just excited to be able to, connect and learn. And it's and I'm
Cool that you're
looking
diving
to
in.
yeah, it's really cool. It's really exciting.
I like that your PFP choice with the maxis. Your maxi PFP is so lovely. Your side by side is really cool too, and the purple shades and everything. It's just epic. You do a good job,
Yeah.
kind of this the what you're describing about your your journey so far, and you're like the metadipity it has something actually, like when you describe kind of the vision. You do a good job. When I'm meeting you now, I'm thinking about this metadipity, like and your first the thing you mentioned was that running and bumping into this somebody in the metaverse like that, and that's kind of a metadipity moment. You know what I mean? It's kind of funny. Like metadipity can actually be a thing. It can actually be like a dictionary word. I think that you may find that metadipity is something that actually has meaning.
That is actually really cool. It's so funny you say that, because yesterday I was also like, well, meta could really, mean different things, and it can be a funny connection. And I must say, I was surprised yesterday in terms of the voice connection, I guess is what it is, that the speaking ability in the metaverse, it's pretty, like, it's super clear, and you really get a feel, because for me that was interesting to experience, because I was wondering, will it be any different from, I don't know, chatting in Discord, or, doing a WhatsApp call or whatever. But it does feel different, because you do have the avatars, standing next to each other or facing each other, and then you hear each other's voices. And of course, you can also type in the chat, but it somehow really does give it this 3D, 4D feel, which I thought was quite an interesting experience.
I just love the idea. Like I can't wait to. It makes me want to tidy up my room. It makes me want to go into my infinite museum and hang some more art and mint some stuff on Polygon so I can hang it and get it all nice, and then go and invite some friends over to come and hang out in my metaverse space. And so I'm looking forward now to like the next time, when it's just happened metadipitous for us to just hang out in my infinite museum spot. And I understand that I could link portals to portals to portals, so I could create an infinite museum. I can have a custom space created to it. I can portal into that and have my own little whatever. You can literally, it's just whatever. You want a space, you want a spaceship, okay, be a portal to your spaceship. It's like what it's like, that's where we're at now. So I'm excited about the templates are cool. That's a great start. But I'm really excited about talking to Jade Rose, or Rose Jade, about like custom stuff. I think she's doing some pretty custom stuff.
Yes, she's such a star. I mean, she's just awesome also with onboarding the queens and just helping everybody out. And yes, she definitely would be a super interesting person to talk to, and really run us through the whole thing. But yes, I want to encourage you to get your thing going. That would be, and like you're saying, the options are just endless. And I think you have like what I'm getting from you is that you have like a clear picture, um, or a vision of what you want to get done and how you want to put it and create it. So I absolutely go for it. Once you get your situation sorted out, and like maybe set up a little bit better where you feel more comfortable and can spend more time doing it, absolutely go
I'm
for
really
it.
motivated this now. Like it's gonna happen. So exciting to imagine. Like, man, the art. I'm just thinking about all these assets that like they're just. I have video assets, and I do, and they have audio and stuff, and I assume that I can hang them, and there'll probably be some options where I could have it like, or maybe they just default option is that it won't just play the video. It's not. It would just be a cacophony of sound. So I'm sure the sound doesn't play by default, but maybe the video does play. Maybe you can approach the video and cue it to play, and it does include sound or whatever. Like I'm just so excited to work with the media because I have some great media based stuff that I'm going to tokenize just for that purpose. Like I've never planned on minting this stuff on Polygon, but it has to be there so that it's affordable. It could be on Ethereum too, but it just has to be on the EVM chain so that it can get into on Cyber. But I had this idea because I have all of these I have these cool Doge Party and counterparty assets too. Not a ton of counterparties, but I got some cool Doge parties, and I thought I have this idea about something we could do with ENS. I put a proposal to the DAO. They kind of like scratch their heads because they're not very familiar at all with Counterparty or Doge Party, which are very kind of smaller communities probably. But I was like, guys, we can authenticate our Bitcoin and Dogecoin wallets by broadcasting a message from them. So it'd be fairly simple to build an interface like on top of ENS, like on the ENS website, where you just like for all of it lists all of your, you go to your n0vax.eth, or it's got all my different addresses there, my Bitcoin, my Doges, they're all filled out. Well, in addition to them being filled out, to the right hand side could be like a generate code, like you do like on your cell phone, you're verifying something, generates the code, and then you go over to your Bitcoin wallet, you broadcast that code, and on the back end, ENS sniffs for the code being broadcast by that wallet, and if it is, then that's you verified that you have ownership of that wallet. So we can actually have verified proof that these assets are verified, and by doing that, you could actually get them onto OnCyber that way. So they wouldn't have to exist like as the asset necessarily on Cyber. Like they could just exist as the image representing the asset. So it'd be like a crude way to do it, but I think it'd be things like that would be cool because I otherwise I have to mint these assets onto Polygon, which I could do. They'd be like clone assets, which is probably easier. It's probably just easier to do that. So, but talking it out gives me like like the forethought, to be able to do it. So I'm gonna grab my laptop, later on today and move it up and kind of get my setup a little better because I'm more motivated to do this now than ever, especially with the BTalks. And potentially we could have the BTalks in there. I feel like you probably get this probably feels very boring after you've done a lot of metaverse hangout. Like it probably feels like you're missing a sense sometimes when you come into spaces, huh?
Yeah, you said a few really interesting things because actually you could then hold your B talks in your gallery, and just like have well, not a membership, but invitations, for example. Because I know what I heard from some of the other guys is that they used to have the Twitter Spaces, but now they just prefer having everything on chain. So they much more prefer to meet there. That's why they have their meetings there. So actually, the B talks absolutely belong into into the metaverse. So actually, that's a brilliant idea. And what you were saying about with your, because of the work you do with the video and sound and everything, there, I have no idea how it works, and you'll figure it out, but there was like, as we moved into different rooms, there was music play, different music playing in different rooms. And there was some really cool art that was hanging in 008's gallery, where when you passed it or you stopped in front of it, it would change. So
Oh, neat. It would respond to
yeah,
your, yeah.
it responded to the, I don't know if it responds to the movement or what, but like it would like whatever, like it would morph into something completely different. So I'm thinking that could also work with your videos. So I
Oh
don't know if they
man.
would start playing if you move by or whatever, but I'm assuming there's so many possibilities that I have no idea of, but like that you can go and discover there. So I think it's like Yeah, no, it's
I'm
actually
going today.
really
I'm
awesome.
going in the metaverse today. So 2 p.m. my time. I got an hour and 20 minutes. Right? And so do you stay up late for this? In Switzerland, you just say I'm staying up late for that. I go in the metaverse regularly. Is that what you do? Do you have your you got it marked on your calendar? Just in your mind, or you just go as often as you're able?
Well, it was my first time, funny enough, yesterday. And kudos to you because this space, because I've been wanting to go the whole of last week and I just had a hectic week. And then, I don't feel like staying up this late. So yesterday I was like, no, but I'm meeting Novax today. I want to have experienced the metaverse at least once. So it totally motivated me. So yes, it does require me to sort of, keep some energy for a little metaverse outing. And it does take a little bit of time because, it was my first time. And 5459, I think, I
She's
saw
great.
her. She's awesome. Hey.
She's
And
awesome. Coral fish, aka coral fish.
I know. And she reached out and she was like, hey, let's meet up. We can meet up in the metaverse and just have some chats there and talks there. So I think that will be my next metaverse outing, meeting her and exchanging and actually using the voice option, which I didn't use yesterday. So yes, it's definitely not a daily thing I'll be doing, but I do want to do it, at least make it a weekly thing, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the way to think of it. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'm really excited about that, and I see that there's more opportunity there than I had previously realized, and I'm excited about making that a part of this BTalks idea. Just going in. Thank you so much. I mean, so it's so amazing to imagine that. My space is so cool. First off, I mean, it's like this cool, like everything is like really um, bright and like outdoors. It's like and then it has this little dome area in the middle, this little like pagoda or something. It's really cool. It's really well made. The space itself, the metaverse space was designed by architects and stuff. It's one of the reasons why I picked this one. I was like, okay, they're all kind of interesting, but like this one is just good design. It was you could tell it was designed by people who were competent with design, and so I was like, I like this. I'm going with this one. It was an affordable one that was well executed, and now I'm imagining like the shape of it. It's an infinite museum, so it's like this kind of circular structure of like these long corridors that are like these white corridors that are out indoor outdoor, and then there's like this middle grassy area in the middle with this little kind of like a Buckminster Fuller geodesic dome kind of a thing or something. Um, and yeah, I thought you might be aware of like what that is. But yeah, it's cool, and I can imagine myself sitting down there and just having a B talk. Like you're there, and 54 is there, and just all of our friends, just like, hey, what's up, guys? Have a little talk. I want to show you my new art that I hung, or I did put this graffiti on the wall, or we could portal in. I want to portal you to my new spaceship or whatever. It's just like that's gonna be a really fascinating part of metaverse, and it has to do with meta layer, like, or with a social layer. All this stuff is really about kind of building out the social layer. Initially, for years since 2017, I didn't have an ENS domain until 2021, and I didn't need one. Right? It's like, what's your address? It's like nobody's asking me what's your address, and if they did, I just paste it to them. But in this context, it's like now that we have this ENS, ability, like this handle on each other. Oh, you're this, you're metadipity. Okay, I could find you that way. I can associate, um, put a name to the face. And in this context, we're having a different and deeper level where like um, persistent like social media that was being deleted and stuff in the past, was being censored or whatever. That's big tech is like, trying to get us to fight with each other for because our attention is devoted to the platform longer when in conflict than otherwise. So like those abuses and manipulations, the pressures for them may still exist and stuff. They may still kind of find their way in. But some of the fundamental problems, like with the um, with the freedom of expression, I believe will be largely mitigated through this. So I'm just excited about the ability to say like, look, I've edited some footage and content, and some of the most important work that I've done in my life is gone. I mean, it's crazy. Like I had to save it. I have it. I uploaded it to blockchain, to library. But and not all of it. Not all of it. Only some of the important stuff. But like a large bit of my my videography or whatever, it's gone. And so that sucks. And so what I'm really looking forward to here is kind of curating some things that are persistent, and then also establishing the social layer. Establishing and understanding, like if somebody's rude to you in the metaverse, you have a metadipity situation. That's great. Hey, I met you here. You're into this. I'm into that. Okay, wonderful. You could also have a negative interaction, and it might be important for everyone else to know if you have a negative interaction with somebody that you don't want in your space, just to be able to issue like a demerit or something, like a negative attestation to say like this was not a positive experience. Um, but it's dangerous. It really makes people uncomfortable to talk like that, because now we're talking about a social credit thing, and we've gone from, hey, I'm just hanging out in the metaverse, I just have a little pseudonym, an ENS name, to now like, wait, now people are like voting for how cool I am. It's like a popularity contest now too, or something. And so I wonder how you feel about the aspect of social layer, for kind of curating and starting to begin to have like a more ethical layer, a dimension to these
Novax.
identities. Yeah.
I think you rugged.
No. Hang on.
Okay, let's see. Maybe he got a phone call.
No. I'm still here.
Oh, are you
I'm
back?
back. I don't know what's going on. Well, I was rambling at a good length there. So it was probably Twitter Spaces just cutting me off so I don't ramble too long. Zodicus is in the house. What's up, Zodi?
Dooga dooga dooga! You look at that! I joined and just fuck everything up.
Yeah, we sabotaged Duck. This Duck is taking up all the bandwidth.
Oh, I'm sorry. Twitter Blue hasn't refreshed my profile picture, so quack quack quack.
Quack, you've gone full quack. Your description is quacked out. That's so awesome. Wow. So how many mallards do you have, and what's the name of the collection? Because if you're embracing it this hard, like I feel like if I don't know the details, I'm missing out.
The collection is just mallards, and there are 10,000 pixelated ducks just quacking along through forever on the blockchain through eternity. They're gonna be there quacking up a storm, and yeah, I love them because there's a good amount of like cool traits, and then there's a good mixture of just like straight up like quackery. Like, you know how like in the Doogies they have like the ball gag trait? Well, they have a ball gag duck, and it's just quacking hilarious.
Okay, I get it. All right, that's well said. So let me introduce you to my friend Metadipity. Zodicus, this is Metadipity. Metadipity, this is Zodicus. Say hello. It's
Hello,
nice.
hi, nice to meet you.
Meta, are you with us still? You might be rugging now. So I'll just tell you, Zodi, Metadipity is super cool. She's part of the B card community. Are you aware of B card?
No, I am not. Please educate me, brother n0vax.
Dude, you're about to get the education session. It's really cool, actually. I mean, it has a lot to do with us in a way. You and I, we bump into each other, we meet each other. Who are we when we meet? Who are we? We got some name. Your name changed since we met, probably several times. And it might be hard for me to find you again if we had just met once, a while back and whatever. So we're a social layer, social media, but really built correctly on blockchain with a scalable and efficiency of transactions and stuff. So we're starting to see some metaverse version of that, like some like early, and that's what's happening kind of with B card. B card is this Polygon based swap of B cards. You have to have 3 B cards given to you, before you can go ahead and mint B card of your own, and that's kind of an interesting dynamic. To kind of ensure that the community is more or less sort of semi curated in that sense, and then from there, there's this whole on Cyber, where all the B card holders, only a few hundred B card holders at the moment, but they're starting to really build out these metaverse spaces in a way that's quite fantastic. And so we're actually seeing like the convergence of our Web3 identities with some of the other, aspects of, social media that have been present before, right, on the Web2 way, but they were kind of controlled by these trusted third party, or these, trusted third parties of our social interactions. But now we have blockchain to fill that role, so we can actually start building a social layer of interaction. So I'm curious to know, like, for you, Zodi, like, how do you feel about putting your, like, Web2 social media content type stuff, like, in maybe through a different lens, like not just like dumping it all on here, but like, how do you feel about having, you know, I don't know, like the Twitter? What if everything that we're doing here on Twitter was on chain? Like, would it make you feel uncomfortable, or is it just okay? That's better because then Twitter can't rug you. Which one is it for you? What's your default impulse?
I mean, I wouldn't mind it on chain at all. Nothing I do, I wouldn't mind the public seeing, anyways. Because I'm on Instagram also. Like I'm fully doxxed on Instagram, and like I've kind of doxed myself a little bit on Twitter to select individuals. So I mean, me personally, uh, I don't mind, and I would actually embrace it, because like that's, to me, that's why I pay Twitter Blue right now, is literally just so I could use that hexagon, because people immediately know when they see this doogie in the room, that's Zodicus. It doesn't matter what name that's under, they know that's my wallet, and to me that's important.
Well said, man. Well said. So thank you for that. Actually, I'm really trying to understand, um, the social layer, as I believe in it too. But I don't want to be naive about it. I know that there's problems. I know that there's going to be issues and everything, but I want to stop this nonsense of Twitter perhaps just arbitrarily saying, you're banned, you're a bot or whatever, you violated the terms of service, or we didn't, but it doesn't matter. So um I feel like we have an opportunity to create real censorship resistant social media on top of, Polygon or Doge Party, or anywhere where it's like, transactions are affordable. You don't want to spend $2 to just say, uh, you know WTF, bro. Like, you're not gonna, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna do it. So we need to have the scalability of transactions, which we have pretty well on Polygon, and that's why, like, Polygon has kind of traditionally sucked to use with OpenSea, and it felt like it was Polygon being awful or not working. But I'm starting to realize more and more that's like Polygon's great, like it's fine. OpenSea is kind of broke. Like, OpenSea Polygon experience is not awesome a lot of the time, and so in other words, like, I couldn't sell, like, even verified collections. I was having trouble, like, listing them for sale because of some, like, contract issues, with Polygon and stuff on OpenSea. But if you're interacting direct to contract like we do with Bcard, it's pretty dope. It just works really fast. It's smooth. It's affordable. It's like Ethereum, but just better. So anyway, it's really kind of interesting now, because we're gonna do that. Like, that's gonna happen now, and it'll mean that, let's say I collect 3,000 B cards or whatever, 5,000 B cards. That's like my Facebook followers. That's like my Twitter followers. Eventually we're gonna build a layer that I can mass DM everyone. I could post to my feed, and all people who hold my B card could easily see an aggregated feed of all of the feeds of all the B card holders. We're building that. That's what we don't realize it, but and we're not even. It's not even the feed in the 2-dimensional sense. It'll be more interactive than that. It'll be like 3-dimensional. You'll be running around their metaverse gallery, and then you'll say, "Oh, I want to interact with this 2-dimensional feed of all of your songs, or all of your ENS domains, or some of your poetry, or your business proposal." It'll be all this stuff, this content and stuff, but you can like reach through it in like more of a 3-dimensional way, and it will all be persistent, and unruggable, hopefully. So anyway, that's I like that idea. And I used to be really scared of it because I felt like there would just be, I don't know, you just want to be able to separate, your IRL identity and stuff like that. But I think that we're going to reach a point when you just kind of just dox, everyone just doxes because it just makes sense. And I kind of have a bit, I don't want that. I didn't want that. I don't want to have to, I think that people should be able to really use this as an anonymous tech, but you seem comfortable doxing. So what were the considerations for you? You say kind of dox to selected people, and that's important to me too. Like, I don't dox anyone, but like if there's a business partnership, or somebody's a really good friend, I want to just call them on the phone, Discord's not working, some stuff like that. It's just like, whatever, we just dox, it's fine. Is that how you feel too?
I feel like on Twitter it's not that important because like with Instagram, like it's a lot of people posting on their stories, their faces and what they're eating and stuff like that. So it's more kind of normal to have being doxxed on Instagram and not having some form of anonymity. But uh, I think so. Like the reason why and I'm gonna try to make this short because I'm gonna be going to the Doogie space here soon. But yeah, to me, the reason why I did select few individuals in Twitter is because I feel people get flooded with all kinds of different I don't know what's the correct word for it, but they just I've been going through my followers list lately, and I've realized like there's a lot of these people where I don't even fucking remember what fucking project they're a part of, and like it's hard to keep track of all that shit. So like this would make it a hell of a lot easier, especially when somebody switches to a profile picture that you don't know. There's a lot of people that don't know me under this fucking doogie, so it would be easier to be like, okay, that's Zodicus right there. All right, he might be on this entirely different project or doing whatever. It might not even be an NFT picture. It could just be a normal fucking photography photo that's not even on chain. But regardless, it'd be. I look forward to having everything linked up because to me it's a little bit confusing remembering who's who, what they're connected to. Oh, especially if they don't fucking have a ENS or anything, and they fucking like change their entire fucking Twitter bio and shit. Like, yeah, that fucks me up.
Yeah, can't find it. I totally get it, man. Thank you. This part of the conversation is super cool for me because social layer is something I've been getting into recently, and I got into negative attestation, bro, which is the idea of like somebody punks you, you're gonna make a complaint. Okay, so that's the interesting thing. Like on Facebook, Twitter, remember there's really a lot of Web 2 conflict and stuff around social media, and so this happened to me recently with the Doge Party community. Somebody was like, saying some things that were really, really abusive to me, and I was like, "This isn't cool, dude." And I was like, "You need to apologize. Like, that's not okay." Like, and then they didn't, and so I was like, "All right, well, I'm gonna mint you a token." So I minted him a token on the social layer on this D card that I'm creating. I made him D card a sub asset, D card dot the person's name, and then I wrote that what they had said and done, and that I had asked them to apologize, and that I would update that social layer record when they made an apology for what they had done. And people really didn't like that. People in the Doge Party community were like, "What the heck, bro? They don't have anything like that." And I was like, "I don't care." Like they're all like, "Take it down." And I was like, "No." They're like, you're attacking this person. I was like, "No, I'm defending myself. That's different." You know? And so like I just don't care. I'm very principled and I'm not making any money there. It's like I'm losing anything. So I'm like, homies, like, no, I will do what is correct and you will not stop me from doing what is correct. And it has to do with social layer. And so this person, it's correct for people to know that this person falsely maligns people, defames their character. That's not right. I don't want my friends, I don't want you to go run into this person and think that, oh, hey, Zodicus is going to be friends with. No, that person's not nice. That's a dangerous person. Stay away. So that's how it is. The same people in this world are the same people in this metaverse. And a lot of times there's shady bros out here. And sometimes you got to have a way of saying, that's a shady bro. Or at least I had a shady experience. And if a lot of shady experiences get, piled onto one bro, that might be a shady bro. So anyway, that's kind of like the layman's terms. I enjoy the Doogie space. I'm going to wrap. I was really glad to bump into you here in the metaverse. But look into B card, and we'll get you onboarded to Doge Party and get you a D card. We're pirates, Zodi. So I'm onboarding people to Doge Party, and I'm bringing on everyone like you, who's my homies from Ethereum and stuff. And I'm gonna get you a D card, and there's gonna be people over there. They're all contentious. Oh, you D card people, you Ethereum people, and we're just gonna be like, yeah, we issue them a demerit, anti-Ethereum extremists demerit, And if somebody says, "Oh, you guys are cool, your D card people are fun," we'll give them a merit. We'll send them, you know what I mean? So we're gonna build the social layer in this very simple way. It's very affordable. So that's why I was asking about it, because it's become relevant, and there is this kind of potentially confrontational part of it. And I've just entered into that recently, and I've just laughed because it's of no fault of my own that I was smeared, and it's certainly of no wrongdoing of my own that I defended myself from that. And so I'm just laughing and celebrating the fact that the social layer is gonna find its, it's gonna. If you're a jerk, don't be a jerk, because social layer means like it'll be there forever. So now it's like, hopefully the result is that it incentivizes right actions, good behavior, friendliness, honesty, right? Hopefully that. So
good old integrity.
Integrity. That's what we're looking for. We're proof integrity. Yeah, man. Thank you so much, my friend. Love you. We'll catch up with you in the metaverse. I'll be sending you some B cards as soon as I mint some more, and then I'll get you onboarded to Doge Party. We'll get you on the B cards too. Hasta pasta.
Hasta pasta. Thank you, n0vax. Have a good one. Yes, I'm gonna go raid that space right now. They're doing a thing with Larva lads.
Oh, I saw that. I might jump over there too for a bit. Yeah, I'm gonna put it on. Cool. I'll see you over there.
Quack, 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 dooga, dooga, doog. It's nice talking.
You have to keep adding to it. Quack, 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 dooga, dooga, doog. You have every
ribbit, ribbit.
ribbit, ribbit, ribbit.
Yeah, I have a frog on my quack that I came in with, so.
Awesome. Oh, horsey, horsey, horsey. Nay, nay, nay. We got it all, brother.
Moo, moo, moo.
I'll catch you over there.